Hey YouTubers, we're back again. It's Sunday, sprayed the 2K. 2K's been blocked on one side already wet with 400 grit wet paper. The paper I'm using today is made by Oslong. You can get it on Amazon or you can also find it on eBay. I bought it on Amazon. All my years of wet sanding, this paper is fantastic. It lasts a long time. You buy it in a long roll so you can adjust it to whatever size block you're using, rather than the standard length longboard paper you'd have to buy somewhere else at a supply house. It came to me in about 2 days, 2-3 days, which was really fast. The sticky backing on it lasts the entire time. I never had it come off the rubber block yet. It cleans real well. It's long lasting. It comes from grits from 40 to 3,000 grit. And so however long of a longboard you have, you can cut off a piece of this real easy, put it on there. I highly recommend it. I used one piece on one side. I could have almost used it on this side. I just used it to bust a little bit of the guide coat off, and then I put a fresh piece on, and I've been sanding it. So this took me about 5 minutes to sand. This is 400 grit. Like I say, it goes all the way up to 3,000 grit. So if you're doing a custom paint job, or if you're doing a boat or something long that you need a custom length longboard, this is the paper to use. I'm old school. I still wet sand. Underneath here is the slick sand made by Evercoat. I dry sanded that with 180, then 220 on top of it. Put the 2K on top of it. Now I'm wet sanding it. I just like wet sanding because I can see everything real clear. I can see where the scratches, if anything left. I found a little spot over there due to wet sanding because it was very clean and I was working the spot. I was able to repair it. If you remember earlier, I had a couple little bitty low spots here and a couple there. After putting this 2K on, I put 3 coats of 2K and then put on real heavy, put on just like it's supposed to be. I blocked it out and those low spots are gone. Okay, this hood is almost perfect right now. I got a little bit more sanding to do on here. And remember, we go in a crosshatch pattern. We never go seesaw like that. You don't want to saw in it, and then you'll see unlevel planes. Now another little trick I want to show you, put a little soap in a big jug of water. I refill this, put a little bitty hole on here with a drill bit. This is how I wet it down. I constantly keep it wide. Instead of running a hose here and using a lot of water, I just use this. Little trick, I learned it from an old friend of mine and I pass it on. That's it on the sandpaper. It's made by a company called Oslong, O-S-L-O-N-G. And highly recommend it. It's the best paper I ever used in my whole life. Another test you can do on it by folding this paper in half. The cheap papers you'll have, it will separate off the backing. You'll see the abrasive crack off of here. You'll see a crack mark. I've never had that happen with this paper yet. So I'm sold. Cost a little bit more. I think this roll was about 36 bucks. But look at it. It's a big roll and a thick roll. I'm not sure how much is on here. I don't have the specs in front of me. But once again, I know it comes from 40 grit all the way up to 3,000 grit. I'll give it a thumbs up. If I find a product that I don't like, I'm going to show it to you and tell you it sucks. Because you know why? Because you're just like me. You're a working man and you don't need to spend your money on garbage. Anyway, have a great Sunday. I just wanted to add this. This is the Evercoat, the slick sand we used on it. That's what we used after we first blocked the fiberglass with 180. Then we shot it with this and sanded this down with 180, then 220 dry on the long boards. And this is the 2K primer we used. It's pretty inexpensive. We got it from a general automotive paint supply place. It's reduced. It's 4 parts this, 1 part hardener, or activator, and the other part is urethane reducer. Okay, 1 part. And this is the primer gun we used. This has got a 2.3 tip. This stuff is extremely thick, and you have to thin it down a little bit with acetone to make it shoot well. I bought this primer gun. It's cheap. It's like $35 or $45. I bought it. It comes on a bunch of different names. If you buy from Summit, it's on Summit. If you buy from Northern Tool, it's on there, but Amazon has it under Titan. And this is the gun I bought it actually at Northern Tool, but it's available on Amazon, which I'd buy it on Amazon because the guys at Northern were useless. It's a code number there for it. That's a universal code. It goes by a bunch of different names. Vapor from Northern, Titan from Summit, and Titan on Amazon. I recommend it because it shot it real well. It's a 2.3. It's a primer gun, and it shot this 2K. Shot it fantastic. And you need about 50 pounds of PSI going to the gun to shoot it. Other than that, I recommend this gun. I'll put a link on there. I'll make another video on the lights, show you the lights for the shop in case anybody's interested, because good Lord, you can see now. I can see everything. I'm not a blind man anymore, thank God. Anything else? The sandpaper, I'll put a link in there too. I just wanted to add this anyway, have a great one.